Hello, students. Good morning, all of you. Today, I, Ravindra Mohan Mishra from Sri Jagdamba Sanskrit College, Batho, am taking the class of Shastri second. We are learning in this day explanation from the play The Merchant of Venice. Today, I have taken the paragraph from Act 2, Scene 5. The paragraph is as such: I know the hand in faith, it is a fair hand, and whither than the pair it writ on is the fair hand that writ. These lines have been taken from the play The Merchant of Venice. These lines are written by William Shakespeare. Shakespeare was a great dramatist. He was certainly one of the most successful writers of his time. These lines have been taken from Act 2, Scene 5 of the play Merchant of Venice. These lines: Shylock is disgusted when he hears about Musk. He turns to Jessica. Jessica should lock up the door. Jessica should do to prevent the noise made during the must enter Shylock's sober house. In next paragraph, in this above line, Shylock is going to Bassanio's house. He is worried about his house because he fears some ill fortune which will fall on him as he had dreamed of money bags the previous night. The Christians, fools with vanished face, are Lorenzo, Celerino, and Gracino. As always, it is vitally important to be aware of who the speaker is in this particular action of this. The person who bids the doors be locked is Shylock, and he is issuing an order to his daughter Jessica based on the information that has just been supplied to him by Lancelot. Lancelot has just informed him that there is due to be a that night a festival of revelry and drunken behavior involving loud noise, music, and custom on the street of Venice. It is in response to this that Shylock commands Jessica to do something different. Now, Shylock repeats the news about there being musk that evening and then turns to addresses his daughter with a specific advice. The doors need to be locked in order to shut out the vile squealing and the sound of music and revelry that would accompany these mosques. The order that Silo gives shows that he wishes to keep his daughter away from any such exposure to the antics of these Christian fools, and just like his money, he wants to keep her locked up and safe from Christian influences that he is so opposed to. This section therefore singles as much as of culture clash between Christians and Jews as it does an protective father who will stop at nothing to keep his daughter safe and sound from any dangerous influences. He is imperious in his use of the imperative clambered note. When he finally tells Jessica she must not go up to the windows and look out in case she sees the musk and is also seen herself. This speech reinforces earlier impressions that have already been created of a man who is so serious and joyless that he insists everybody in his house shares his somewhat bleak and desolate existence. A small wonder therefore, that Lancelot has already left his employment and Jessica, his daughter, is so desperate to elope. Now we take the second paragraph. I am glad it is night. I am glad it is night. You do not You do not look for me, look on me, for I am much ashamed of my exchange. But love is blind, and lovers cannot see the pretty follies that themselves commit. For if they could, Cupid himself would blush to see me thus transformed to a boy. These lines have been taken from the play The Merchant of Venice. These lines are written by William Shakespeare. Shakespeare was a great dramatist. He was certainly one of the most successful writers of his time. These lines have been taken from Act 2, Scene 6 of the play. In these lines, Jessica is shy about her beloved Lorenzo, seeing her disgust as a boy, but recognizes that it would not affect his love for her saying these lines. This shows Shakespeare's deep knowledge and transcience of human life. He has taken this concept from medieval philosophy. In the next paragraph, in these above lines of the Merchant of Venice, the Jade, Shylock's daughter, Jessica, elopes with a Christian. Lorenzo arrives at Shylock's house on a Venetian canal in a boat and disguised as a boy. His Jessica climbs out the window to join him in the boat. Joining her lover, she would prefer to look her best and is self-conscious about having to cancel her feminine charm. But she climbs out the window to join him in the boat. Joining her lover, she would prefer to look her best and is self-conscious about having to conceal her feminine charm. But she is relieved that it is dark and anyway he is in love with her, and because love is blind, he would not mind that she looks like a boy. In that sense, Jessica, who has no control over who they are in love with, blindly loving someone for no reason at all, we often think of Cupid as blind, even though that is only one of the versions of him. He appears in many different forms as a baby, a child, and a teenager, not always wearing the blindfold. He sometimes carries a bow and has a quiver of arrow on his back. That has given rise to the tradition of his being able to to make people fall in love by shooting them with one of his arrows. If an arrow strikes you, that is it. He immediately falls in love. He does not shoot her deliberately as he cannot see her. In short, we conclude that this surely Shakespeare's strongest statement that love is truly blind. Shakespeare results in relational emotions among different